Hi, my name is Tamberly Hamlet, and this is my interpersonal communications project for course HSER 508. Next slide. Stewart defines communication as a continuous, complex, collaborative process of verbal and nonverbal meaning making. He also defines interpersonal communication as a type of communication that happens when the people involved talk and listen in ways that maximize the presence of the personal. Communication is basically getting your ideas across. Next slide. Interpersonal communication. There are 6 features of all kinds of communications. Humans live in a world of meaning, and communication is a process of making these meanings. Communication involves choices that can be considered or automatic. Ethnicity, gender, age, social class, and other cultural features affect communication as well. Next slide. Intercommunications continue. Communication involves negotiating identities. The most influential communication events are conversations, and taking an additional step in the communication process is nexting. Next slide. Enlarging the conversation. Defined by me as becoming more involved in the conversation by means of taking initiative, being assertive, asking questions, and being an active listener. This will maximize the conversations that I have both personally and professionally. I can also apply the same techniques in improving my relationship and communication with God, bringing me closer to Him. Next slide. My overarching goal: to improve communication skills both personally and professionally, improve my listening skills to become a level 1 listener, and become more assertive in my professional career. Next slide. Background. Stewart states that identity or self is defined as a constellation of features or labels that establish social expectations that we have of ourselves or others. In other words, my identity is made up of many different elements. Where I am from, my belief system, cultural values, and morals all influence who I am as a person. Next slide. Behavior blend. Taking the Uniquely You assessment, I found that what is expected of me is a S, steady specialist, and that my behavior blend, this is me, a CIS, competent influencing specialist. Next slide. Characteristics of my blend. Characteristics taken from this is me and what is expected of me shows that I am sensitive and submissive, helpful and assisting, shy and mild, still and reserved, loyal and friendly, withdrawn and reserved, steady and stable. Next slide. Negative characteristics of blend. My personality blend of this is me and what is expected of me tells me that my negative characteristics are: I'm not firm enough, I'm not a smooth talker, I'm not talkative at all, I think too much or too long, I'm too patient and too kind, I allow myself to be taken advantage of, I lack assertiveness, and I'm not a risk taker. Next slide. Communication barriers and solutions. I have noticed throughout this course that I have a tendency to want to hear what I want. I judge and form my opinion of the conversation early on without listening to what is being said. I also find myself being a fake listener, acting like I am listening to what is being said by the talker, but really my mind is wandering off on other important matters. And I am just waiting for the talker to stop talking so I can get my point across. Other barriers that I've noticed are internal and external distractions. My solution to these distractions include listening at a level 1, ask clarifying questions, be aware of red flag words, remove all internal and external distractions. Next slide. Being aware of habits can help people to stop them. Taken from Burley Allen, 1995. Next slide. Noise pollution. Noise pollution has a considerable effect on communication and can mask speech. Factors that may cause noise pollution include background noises, such as cars, machinery, music, loud talkers, televisions, and many more. People in culture that emphasize personal space are more likely to encounter communication difficulties in noisy situations. Age. Children have poor articulation skills than adults. The older the listener, the lower the background noise needs to be. Other factors that may cause noise pollution is spatial factors and situational factors. Next slide. Vocal efforts and skills of the talker and listener. And the location, whether it's indoor or outdoor. Next slide. Noise pollution continue. My solution to these noise pollutions is to continue to be an empathetic listener by staying on the level 1 listening, tune out all distractions as much as possible. Next slide. My plan of action. To improve my listening skills to become a level 1 listener, I will not judge, agree, disagree, or advise or defend. I will see things from the talker's point of view. I will stay in the present moment. I will not allow myself to get distracted. I will be aware of talker's body language, feelings, and thoughts. And I will listen from the heart. Listening from the heart will open the doorway to understanding, caring, and empathy. Next slide. My plan of action continued. To be more assertive, I will take more initiative in conversations. I will state my point of view without being judging, accusing, attacking, or labeling. I will share my feelings and thoughts more, and I will learn to say no at times. My plan of action will in return make me a better communicator in my personal and professional life, enlarging the conversation. Next slide. As a talker, it is important that I am aware of the fact that I am most bothered and that I own the problem. Next slide. And as the listener, I should remain calm enough to hear and be aware of the fact that I do not own the problem. Next slide. In conclusion, human beings become healthier in the presence of other healthy humans. Next slide. This is the conclusion of my interpersonal communications project. My name is Tamara Hamlin, and thank you for your time.